Hello, everybody, and welcome to how to set up your omnichannel e-commerce strategy presented by BigCommerce, Fortuitas, and SalesLayer. My name is Jack Kurtz. I'm the CEO and founder of Fortuitas, and I'd like to welcome you all here today. And joining me are Patrick Williams, Senior Product Solutions Engineer from BigCommerce. Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, hey everybody. Good to be here.
And all right. Hi, Patrick. And Chris Johnson, Senior Solution Advisor from SalesLayer. Hey, Chris.
Good morning and good afternoon to everyone.
Oh, all right. So just before we get started, want to remind everybody if you could please stay on mute and keep your cameras off just so we can get through all the material in the webinar. If you have any questions during the webinar, at any time, please feel free to enter your question into the chat. We will get to the questions toward the end. We apologize the last webinar, some of you weren't able to get on. We had an issue with some of you in the calendar and the Zoom link. So the first 100 participants today is going to get a free Starbucks gift card. So we'll be sending that to you through email sometime in the next 24 hours. So with that, again, welcome to everyone. I know we have people from many different countries attending today. We're going to get started and let's jump into the agenda here. So I'm going to quickly provide a recap from our Tuesday webinar, which was called Omnichannel eCommerce Explained, for those of you that were not able to attend, or maybe you need a refresher if you were here a couple of days ago with us. And then we're going to jump right into an omni-channel demo. Chris and Patrick have a very exciting demo showing an omni-channel solution using SalesLayer PIM and BigCommerce as the e-commerce solution. We'll talk a little bit about our model, which is called SaaS Plus, and show a few customer examples. And then we will tell you how you can get started with omnichannel e-commerce and provide you some tools where you can start working right away and with everything you need to get going. So like I said, after that, we'll get into questions. We'll try and make sure we answer any questions. And if you stay till the very end, you could be a lucky winner of a Blue Yeti microphone. This is my Blue Yeti microphone. We're going to send you your own in a box, shipped directly to you. So that'll be fun. So let's go ahead and get right to it and just briefly recap what is omnichannel. And as we talked about last time, omnichannel is not multi-channel. Multi meaning many channels, where you have all of these separate decoupled sales channels where you're not working together, you're not sharing processes, systems, data, or people, and that creates a very frustrating customer experience, versus omni-channel. Omni means all, and this is where all your channels are working together using the same processes, systems, and data, and the people are working together as a team to support your customers so that any sales channel that your customer interacts with will feel like the same experience. They'll have the same pricing, the same product information, or perhaps if it's a separate channel that's in a different language or has a different currency, it's all coming from the same system and the same team. We also talked on Tuesday about this acronym called BOPIS, which is Buy Online, Pick Up in Store. That's an acronym we use in North America. Elsewhere, in the rest of the world, it's referred to as click and collect. And that's where you can purchase a product on your website or mobile device and pick up that product in the retail store. And that requires that all of your systems are sharing the same inventory management system so that you can properly track inventory. Okay, so those are some of the basics there. Chris talked about what is a PIM, which stands for Product Information Management System, and that's where you can organize all of your data. So if your product data and your images and your pricing and your different languages and currencies are all hosted in various formats, let's say Excel spreadsheets, FTP, your ERP, your Drive or your Dropbox, you can organize all that data and then put it into the PIM and analyze the data, make sure that the data is enriched with the proper formatting. The different departments in your company can work together to analyze that data, and then ultimately connect that data to all of your different sales channels, whether it's your e-commerce solution or maybe even multiple e-commerce sites, as we'll talk about in a moment, marketplaces, social media, print catalogs, all different sales channels can connect to this data in a unified fashion. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to hand this over to Patrick, and he's going to set us up and explain what we're going to be doing for a demo today. So what do we have here, Patrick?
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Jack. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming today. Chris and I are going to spend the next 30 minutes or so walking you through this demo. What we're going to show you, so we have these two different BigCommerce stores. They both just have a couple of our standard out-of-the-box themes applied to them. And we've actually, these are brand new stores. So we've even gone and pulled out the sample products that come when you spin up a new BigCommerce store. So they're completely empty. They have no products in them, no categories. What we're going to show you, these stores have kind of different personas, right? So the Fortune store exclusively sells watches, while the Vault store is more of a gift shop. And some of those gifts may be watches. So what we'll show you is how you can take a single instance of Sales Layer and have a master catalog in that of all your products and actually segment that out to, in this case, these two different BigCommerce sites. But we'll also even show you how you can connect some other omni-channel locations as well. And we'll look in here, where not just the actual product listings can be segmented between the stores, but even the same product listing on Fortune and on Vault might have different labels or different prices or things like that too. So we'll show you some of that functionality today.
Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to you, Chris, if you could share your screen and let's take a look at that demo.
Yep. So let's start with a demo. And just as you can see, this is Sales Layer. This would be like the back end or how we would start with the dashboard. Here we have your welcome message, and you have your total consumption. As you can see here, now it's got 0 SKUs because it's totally empty. We're gonna actually populate that now. We have our quality evolution right here, what we've been doing these days. And as you can see, we have 0 categories, 0 products, and nothing on our points of sale. And also you may notice that it doesn't even, we don't even have like the variants or child products. We'll enable them later on. If we go down, we can see the channel activity and some other features like the number of users that we have in this instance and what we've been doing in these days, the activity feed. So this is our typical dashboard where you can have an overview of what you have in your Sales Layer installation. So now we're going to start with something that we call a digital assets manager. It's not a full-grown DAM, but here you can host your images. We have images from different demos in this case, but also you can host files like PDFs, maybe even, for example, 3D images, videos, whatever you need to enrich your content. So it's not only data that you can host here, you can also have images, files, and so on. So just emphasizing no products, no categories. And just as Patrick was saying, our backend of BigCommerce doesn't even have products or categories either, because those are going to be fed from Sales Layer. And this is the actual site. This is the front end, has no products in them. So I'm just gonna make sure we all see that both of our stores are empty, totally empty. Very good. We do have a theme, but that's it. No products in there. We are going to feed them from our Sales Layer account. So let's start. Here I have a spreadsheet. This is not the only way to import content, but in this spreadsheet, we have categories, products, and variants in 3 different tabs. Again, we have many ways to import data into Sales Layer, but this has like a wow factor. I'll show you in a minute how this will look. And let's start by importing our categories. I'm going to copy all these, and well, you'll see in the first this first column we have our reference, like an ID or yeah, just something that tells you, or it could be a combination of numbers and letters that tells you what is the reference of this category. And then you have other columns with more information. And again, we can add a category manually by clicking here, but for this purpose, we're going to import it with an Excel. We could use our CSV export or import, I mean, or XML, uploading these files from our computer. But we're going to use the copy paste, which again has this wow factor that I love of Sales Layer. I paste this and click import data. So now Sales Layer, what it's doing is actually analyzing each one of the headings or each one of the columns and trying to understand what they refer to. And as you can see, we have in red these fields that are totally empty, doesn't have a category or a category description or parent reference. And what we have here are our tags, section image, and the status. So let's just click finish. It's going to ask for the category description or parent section references. These are fields that are important but not required. So for this demo specifically, we are not going to input these. So if you need more information on this, obviously you can ask us. But for the purpose of time, we're going to go straight to the point, creating 3 simple categories. And here we go. We have our home audio, musical equipment, and watches. They have tags, but again, no products, just the categories. We just created our categories. And if we go into our home audio category here, we have, just fields of information that we can enrich. And for example, I'm just going to type here, new category. Okay. And the idea is that you could enrich this manually, or also you could upload a new file enriching these fields. Also, you could create new fields or new pages or new tabs of information. The purpose of this is to have any given number of fields that you may need for your organization, for your management. So you have everything properly fed, right? So we could create a new field. We have different types of fields like related items, tables, numbers. So all these different attributes or types of fields helps you have any given number of fields for your enrichment, right? So now they're ready. We have our data properly, or our categories properly built. Now we're going to import our products. Again, we could create products one by one, but the best way we recommend is importing products. Maybe, again, we have the possibility of a CSV file or an Excel file, but we're going to use this function, the copy paste. We have columns of information. I'm pretty sure most of the viewers can relate to these Excel files if you're still working on Excel, where you have, just sizes, colors, and other attributes that you may need depending on your vertical or your industry. So I'm just going to copy all this again, products, and I'm going to import these products. We could import upload a CSV file or an XML file, but I'm going to use the Excel function again. And we're pasting the data. And once we paste, I'm going to import. So again, Sales Layer is analyzing this Excel file, locating the different types of fields that it could be, and matching them with the internal fields that that sales layer has. And those are in green, but the ones that are not created and that sales layer is going to create are the ones in white. So for example, the brand, I'm going to turn it into a field list, and I'm going to take the multi-selector out. And you'll see later on how this is actually inputted into sales layer. And then we're going to also change the weight into a number, because it's a number field. And sales layer gets it like 90% of the time what type of field it is, but sometimes first thing you have to do is is select what type of field it is. If you don't do it in the import, don't worry, because it's very, very easy to configure it later or to change it when it's already imported. But if you do it in the first import, that's something that you've got solved at the beginning. So now we can see that all these fields are correctly imported. So we're ready to go. We have our products ready, and we're going to click finish. And you may have noticed that we've applied a certain section reference to each one of the fields. What does that mean? Well, the products are going to be inputted. These 11 products are going to be inputted into each one of its categories. So it's going to be properly organized. We're going to see that in a minute, but just so you have this idea quickly, now each one of our categories is going to have each one of these products placed properly or organized properly. So here we go. We have 11 products. We have watches, we have drum sets, we had a guitar, and even speakers. And again, just as Patrick was saying, we have two different stores and two different storefronts that have, one sells watches and the other one sells watches plus other things. The one is the gift ones. And so in this case, I'm going to just show you exactly that we have all these fields inputted. And again, we could create new fields, just clicking actions, redesign form. We could create a new page if we like, same as categories. But all this to have all your set of data rightly or correctly added and organized in sales layer. So it's very simple, as you can see, just to create a new field. And with all the different field types that we have available, I'm pretty sure that your data will be correctly managed here in sales layer. So again, we are just ready to go. We're gonna save and complete. So now we have our categories, we have our products, right? It's all ready. Check out this watch, this Panerai Submersive, because we're gonna look at that one later. It has a very specific feature, but as you can see, we don't have variants, sorry, or child products. So for example, we're gonna use, in this case, the Pulse watch. As you can see, it has details, it has all these fields that are included, but it doesn't have any variants applied to it, right? It doesn't have child products. So actually, let me show you right there. Okay, here we go. This icon, as you can see, that's the variant icon, and it's empty. It has no products attached to it. So we're just gonna click actions, see variants, and we're gonna activate the variants. So we're gonna create these child products attached to the parent product. Again, we could add a variant manually, and the other forms that we've discussed before previously, we could upload a CSV and XML, but we are also going to use this copy paste function that we have here. And so here is this variant option. We have our product reference, which actually is the same parent that repeats itself, 284. As you can see, it's the same parent, but what's the difference is the format reference that's right next to it. As you can see, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90. And these are the specifics of each one of these variants, right? So we have the color, the price, an image attached to it, and well, the weight and the status. But these are the uniqueness of each one of these child products. So let me paste this into Sales Layer, and it's going to create these 6 variations or childs of this parent product. So here we go. We've enabled the tags, and we're also going to modify the color like this. Yeah. And we're going to change it into a field list and configure it without a multi-selector. And you'll see later on how that is actually inputted into Sales Layer. Just making sure everything is correctly inputted. Oh, weight. The weight has to be a number. There you go. Perfect. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now, everything is correctly organized. Let's click Finish. Let's input the data. And now we have 6 new variations, variants, attributes, however you want to call them. But of a main product, it has 6 new variations. And we have, this is the parent product. These are the different format reference: 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90. And then if we click in there, now we have, this is the actual variant of the 284 Pulse, which is actually the gold one. We'll see it in a second. And what we're looking at our right-hand side now is an overview of the parent, right? So if we go into details, here we go, the color gold with the price. And this is the field list I was talking about before. And we have the price, and here we go. That's a golden one. And if you don't want to have this view, you can click and it'll hide. But this way you can have an overview of all the different variations of this specific line of products, we could call them, right? So with a glance, you can see what is included in this parent product. So here we go. Now we have our categories, our products, and our variants. Everything's ready to go. As you can see, now we have our option to select on our variants. And so they're ready to connect. And remember, before we had our icon was 0. Now it has 6 variants. So as I said, with a glance, you can check out all the different attributes or main features of each one of these products. Now we're ready to go. But before we connect our sites, we have to make sure that both our products, variants, and also our categories are all in the visible mode, right? Draft means I'm still working on them. We also have another status, which is invisible. It could be maybe out of date or whatever. But if you want to connect them properly, always select visible, right? If you don't select any product, it applies it to all your catalog. And now what I'm going to do is just actions, change status, and I'm going to activate or put the 6 items, 6 variants into visible. So now we do have categories, products, and variants. They're all visible, ready to be exported. Now let's go to our channel, and we have them ready. But again, we're going to show you how these stores are going to be connected to each one or these connections are going to be connected to each one of our stores. So let's start with Fortune. And to connect our stores, we need 3 parameters. We need our store hash, client ID, and access token. These 3, I'm just going to force refresh so the data actually pushes while we're talking. And going back to the store hash, client ID, and to access token, remember, these three parameters are provided by BigCommerce. We don't have them. You have to create them. How? Well, very simple. Right below store hash, you may have noticed that it says how to create or how to generate these credentials. When you click there, it'll open a new tab and it'll take you straight to BigCommerce. And Patrick, could you give us some more details on this?
Yeah, so this should be super straightforward, even if you aren't the most technical person in the world. Like Chris said, you're just going to need, a few different data points that will provide for you. That store hash is actually contained in the URL of your control panel. So once you go into the BigCommerce admin, if you look up at the top, it'll say store dash and then have a store hash after it. That's actually what you need to copy in. And then for the API accounts piece, you do need to have the store owner role. Only the store owner role can create new API accounts. But you'll just want to go in, give it some friendly name that's easy to, that you'll remember what it's for when you see it later. Go pick the appropriate scopes, which in this case will just be the catalog. And you'll need to make sure that that key is able to modify the catalog endpoints as well. So once you save that, like you can see in this GIF here, it'll pop up a little modal that'll show you all that data. It'll also save a text file on your computer just in case you close that modal before you're able to write all that stuff down. So one's the OAuth token, one's the client secret. And again, you'll just need to go enter those back on the sales layer dashboard.
Exactly. Perfect. So I'm just highlighting these little details that you can find in this help page. Remember, it says save your credentials. There's no way to redisplay these, so it's very important for you to keep them. And just as Patrick gave us the details, it's very simple to do and very simple to create and to work with. So we're almost ready to go. We have all our details. Let's go back to sales layer. As I said, we already have our store hash, our client ID, and our access token. Remember, when creating the API, set products on modify, right? That's very important. But also, apart from this, if you want to create your BigCommerce store, we strongly recommend to go to support.saleslayer.com, access with your both user and password of SalesLayer, search for BigCommerce, and you have a number of different different pages that'll tell you how to map your products. But again, before you start installing or synchronizing, it's very important to go to the installation and synchronization page in the support, because it tells you different features that are, or different requirements. Like, for example, there's apart from this modifying products, there's another one which is that it has to have a category and so on. Could you give us some more details on that, Patrick?
Yeah, sure. Right. So to push products from sales layer into BigCommerce, your products are still going to have to follow the requirements of the BigCommerce product model. Like Chris said, we do require a weight. We require a product name. We require a price and at least one category definition. You could also have multiple category definitions, but without that, we can't actually create products on the BigCommerce side. So you just need to make sure all that's part of your data model in sales layer and that it's mapped correctly to the BigCommerce connector.
Sorry. Yeah, thanks. So definitely now, after we've done this, we have to validate our credentials. And once we've validated them, now we go to our output data. And in this case, in this connector specifically, we've applied a search to it. We've applied field columns section reference equals to watches. It's just a complex way to do it. We could have just selected main categories watches. That could have been also done. But we wanted to show how complex our connections can be. And plus, also, not only on the category level, we can do it also on the product and the variant level. So all we're doing here is just matching the content that's on sales layer and that's required by BigCommerce. Again, make sure you have your price, make sure you have your weight, make sure you have a name, and these basic, let's say, fields are the ones that you're going to need. So let's go to the other one. They have different store hash. It has a different client ID, a different access token. So again, remember, you have to create these by each one of your BigCommerce instances. I'm going to force refresh this one too. Very good. So it connects. And let's go to our output data. And in this case, we've changed it up a little. Instead of just connecting our watches, we haven't selected any main category. So it's going to send out all the data that has the tag vault. And as you can see, we have applied to the default price a formula. And here's when it gets a little bit tricky. What we've done here is we have the watch I was mentioning before, the Panerai watch, has two different prices, the main price and the vault price. So as you can see, we applied a formula to it that if the price empty, if the price is empty, or sorry, if the vault price is empty, then apply the price. If not, apply the vault price. So if you have any questions, you can go to the manual and you know, it'll give you some idea. But if you have more questions, we also invite you to call our guys and our friends and our buddies at the support center, and they will help you to locate the best formula for your purpose. So said and done all this, let's see how our sites are going to be connected. As you can see, we have our Vault store, we have a Fortune store, and I'm going to show you really quick what I was talking about, the Panerai submersible, where this actual watch, if we go in there, and now if we click, remember this is the SKU or the product reference. If you go into details, we have price A, which is $19,400, pretty cheap. And then we have a vault price, $18,999. And so it's the same watch, has the same image, same description, but in two different stores, two different prices. This is just an example. The price is just an example, but it gives you the idea that out of one catalog, you can have different storefronts, right? And the possibilities are limitless. I'm pretty sure you already have an idea or two what you can do with this, right? So we've done this example just to show you how simple it is. But then, apart from connecting your BigCommerce store, you have all these different stores or marketplaces, connections. You can connect it to eBay, to Google, to Facebook, and the list just goes on. And even if you don't have, if you don't have a homegrown or native connector, you can create it by yourself in the custom connector. So let's go to our Amazon and show you very simply in a few clicks how we're going to connect our data to an Amazon vendor store. So in this case, I'm going to go a little bit quick here. I'm just going to select the US. I'm going to select watch, which is watch band, and I'm going to update the fields. And now all we have to do is whatever's in Amazon or whatever Amazon is requiring, select it from sales layer. And for example, you could select the Amazon tag. Now, only those products that have the Amazon tag are going to be exported. You could also do a search. So the idea is that all we were talking about, the omni-channel, is or can be done from sales layer. And this is just one Amazon store. You could clone this channel and just, you know, fine tune it with a few things. So it's very simple to just create a number of channels or a number of outputs. Let's just go to another example, Facebook. Very simple. Just click there if you need help, and Facebook will tell you what is needed to create your Instagram and Facebook shop. Include the channel title, a channel web link, select the data, select the tag or whatever you want, and you're ready to go. You're ready to connect your data to your Instagram or your Facebook feed. So in a couple of clicks, we've created our omni-channel. Let's go to gifts. And here we go. We have our Panerai. And as you can see, it's the same product, but it exported the second price. And if we refresh our gifts, let me see that. Oh, there we go. There's our storefront. Now it has the products. And as you can see, it has the 18,000 price. And the pulse, let me refresh this. Here we go. Now it has 6 variants. Pulse watch, right? Here we go. We have an overview. And if we go to the Panerai submersible, there it goes. Same SKU code, but with the 19,400. Let's refresh the storefront and give it a sec. There we go. So again, we could go into the pulse and it says there has a range of different prices depending on the one you select. So we're going to pick one. I don't know. Let's pick the gold. Here we go. And it has an 89 price, $89. Pretty neat. But if we select another one, spring, there we go. We could have a preview. We could have the price. But remember, all this is coming from the data that we inputted into Sales Layer. So there it is. That's a demo. That's how you create an omni-channel. That's the difference of the two watches. I'm just making sure you got the point. And that's how you do an omni-channel. Back to you, Jack.
Wow, great. Chris, that was very impressive. And thank you, Patrick. Very nice. All right. We only have a few more minutes, so I'm going to go back and share my screen here real quick. If you like what you saw here, one of the things that's amazing about both BigCommerce and Sales Layer is they are SaaS-based solutions. If you're not familiar with the term SaaS, that means software as a service. So it's 100% cloud-based. You don't have to worry about product updates. You don't have to worry about hosting. You log in from any device, any browser, 24/7 by 365, and it's available to you. Now, if you have the capabilities to do all this yourself, that's great. Fabulous. If you don't, Fortuitas has a model called SaaS Plus. So what's the plus? So if SaaS is software as a service, the plus is also the services and the support to help you get started, to help you design your store, build your store, connect your PIM, connect and integrate with any of your other systems, and then provide you ongoing support throughout the year. And this is done as one simple subscription with a low barrier to entry and a very predictable monthly fee. And some of the customers that we have, some that are directly ours, some of them from Sales Layer, some of them from BigCommerce, some of them that we share jointly, Bragg Live Foods, Krager Wheel, Skull Candy, Reebok, Pal's Books. These are a number of the brands that we have worked with. So how do you get started building your omni-channel solution? And so what I'd like to share with you is an offer today, and we call this the Omnichannel eCommerce Bundle. And this is a free trial that you can get by going to our website at this URL, tinyurl.com/omnichannel-bundle. My colleague, Johnny Gregory, is in the background here, and he has posted this URL in the chat. We're also going to send this to you by email, and you can sign up for a free trial of both Sales Layer and BigCommerce all in one place. This is the only place you can get them both together, which is very exciting. And you can start working right away and building an omni-channel solution. So we definitely recommend you get the bundle. Let's jump in. We have a couple more minutes. I want to see if we can get to some questions. I know we're running out of time here. So let me start off here. What do we have? Questions. There we go. Okay. Patrick, so how is BigCommerce able to pull off this mapping product categories and so forth? I've not seen it work in other e-commerce solutions. You have to do that manually. What is it about BigCommerce that's unique in that way?
Yeah, so over the last 4 or 5 years, we've really started to open up the platform from an API perspective. We've adopted this mentality. We coined this term called open SaaS. But our entire catalog is open from an API perspective. You can go pull in categories, you can create categories, update categories, and that's true of products and variants as well. And we even have the entire catalog extensible through something called meta fields as well. So even if there is, data points that we don't understand as part of our catalog model, you or your partner on behalf of you can go in and create those fields in BigCommerce and actually have them be part of the model there. So pretty straightforward from our perspective, but definitely took a lot of legwork to get to this point of openness.
Nice. So while we're on the subject, another question here: how does BigCommerce differ from some of these other e-commerce solutions? Obviously, people have choices out there. There's some very unique things maybe you can share about BigCommerce.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I'd go back to that open SaaS piece. That's really what we've been working on the last 5 years. And the intent there is to bring together kind of the best of both worlds between open source platforms where you can go build anything you want. You can integrate all your critical business systems, no matter what they are, and all the benefits of SaaS, which we just talked about, right? The security, the maintenance, the automatic upgrades. So we've built the platform, or really rebuilt the platform in a way where, it is true SaaS. You get everything you need out of the box to run a functioning e-commerce site. But when you need to, use extra functionality from sales layer to pass your data in from a PIM, or when you need to connect out to your ERP systems or whatever the case may be, we've made that possible. And from a business model perspective, we've encouraged that.
Great. Awesome. We have time for one more question. So Chris, you talked about multiple currencies. What if we want to offer you talked about multiple pricing rather. What if we wanted to offer multiple currencies? What if we wanted to have it in multiple languages? Maybe one currency on one site, a different currency on another site, one language on one channel, another language on another channel. How would SalesLayer help you do that?
That's a great question. And good news, or the good, yeah, the good news is that it can be done. And the idea is that you have multiple options. On translations is very simple. You have multi-language on each one of the fields, each one of the text fields, obviously. And the good story is that we have up to 150 different languages you can host inside SalesLayer. And then with the multiple currency, you have different options. One of them is, as we did, have 2 different price fields. Another option is applying a formula, which I love, which is currency convert on the pricing when it's connecting out. But if you don't trust the currency conversion, you can also use a math formula. The idea is that you have so many different options to do it that it's up to the customer, whatever fits their need. And that's one of the one of the good things or strong points of SalesLayer, the adaptability.
Great. Thanks, Chris. Well, we're running out of time. In fact, we're out of time. Sorry that we're going a little over here. We want to make sure we fulfill our promise. And we said we would give away a Blue Yeti microphone to one attendee who signed up for this webinar today and stayed till the end. And I'm happy to announce that lucky winner is Elena Martinez. So congratulations, Elena. And I hope you're happy. Please email us at info@fortuitas.com so we can get your address, you can claim your prize, and we'll get that shipped right out to you. Okay, great. Somebody hopefully is happy here. If anybody has any more questions, this is our contact information once again, if we didn't have time to get to your question. And remember, this is how you get started. Go ahead and sign up for this Omnichannel eCommerce free trial bundle and get started today. Chris, Patrick, I want to thank you guys. Great job. I appreciate being with you again today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yes, and I want to thank everyone else who was here today to join us. We really appreciate you being with us, and we hope to see you at our next event. I see some very nice messages. Muchas gracias, muy interesante. Thanks, gracias a todos. Thank you all too. This was a great experience for us. Have a great day, have a great evening, and we will see you next time.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.